morning, sir.
Good morning, Maya. Good morning. We'll wait for 2 minutes, right?
Okay, sir.
Right, back here with the CN class. I think how many of you executed that NS2 program? How many of you executed NS2 program, first program?
Sir, I
Listening?
have executed.
Executed.
Yes, sir, but the
Uh,
packets are not running, sir.
not
Like
dropping.
only not no, sir.
Uh,
Like it will run, no, sir.
it will move from
Ha.
N02.
Like only 2-3 packets are moving.
2-3 packets are
Like at
moving.
last moment.
At last moment only. Then you have to check the scheduled time.
Okay, sir.
Are you getting? You have to check the schedule time. Maybe while doing in a NSG, FTP start and FTP stop is there. No, there the time mistake will be there. So you have set at some point. You have to set at 0. $NS at 0.0, and then the ending time should be the last time of the simulation. That is 9.9. So you check that one particular thing, and then you check the connection between traffic. That is what is that? Finally, I think you have missed $NS. This one connect TCP with this one sync. So that you may be missed that statement. Either these two
No,
errors,
sir, I
if you
did that, sir.
which one?
Like connection between TCP sync and TCP.
No, that is attach agent you have did. I will agree. Are you getting?
Yes,
That
sir.
virtual connection I told no between source and TCP source and TCP sync you have to establish the virtual connection. That red line will come. That is usually students will forget that statement. $NS connect $TCP 0 $sync 1 or sync 0. Yeah, that statement you can cross check once more. Whatever the program is there, I will send you today. The correct program I will send you today. You note it down. You compare that with your program, and you can run that program also. Today I will send that program. I thought that just you practice on your own once. Later on, I will send the program. Now I will send both AWK and this program, two programs in a WhatsApp itself. Again, you compare your program with whatever the mine program, whatever I have sent. Maybe one or two small errors will be there. So if you update that, definitely the program will run. Okay. Any other
Okay, sir.
doubts regarding program?
No, sir.
How many have you executed? Still, anyway, lab test is there, you know that, right? So because of that, I'm telling you. Now, first part lab test from June 1st, whatever we are doing, so that will contain 4 programs. Part A, as I told you. So you must be ready on that also. Still the date, I will try to complete some another 2-3 programs. Means 4 programs in NS2 also. Last 2 programs we will leave. Just for a sake now, 75% we'll do. Later on, we'll see. Coming to the now theory subject, we'll back with the theory subject. Saturdays, I will do NS2 program every means Saturday, Friday or Saturday. Taking like that, I will do that particular program. Now we'll go with the theory class. Coming to the theory class, in the last class we had discussing on the BGP protocol and EGP protocol. As I told you that routing has to be done in a multi public networks or many heterogeneous networks to networks. So the routing has to be done. How the system should be, where we have taken that as an autonomous system AS into the consideration, and global internet, how it will be represented, you know that there will be a backbone always. That backbone is the one which will have a class A. That backbone will give connections to the next AS, that is you can call it as an ISP providers, means internet providers. From internet providers it will be given to the small companies or small corporations like that. So the backbone can also give a direct connection to the large corporations or a large companies that we had discussed already. Now we'll go with the other part of an BGP, and we'll see how the BGP protocol will work, right? Just I'll share this. Now, yeah, coming to the BGP protocol. The BGP protocol, some large corporations connect directly to one or more of the backbone, while others connect to the smaller non-backbone service providers. This is very much important. See, I repeat again. In the beginning also I told you, some large corporations, they will connect to the backbone directly. But others, whoever are there, some small connections or non-backbone connect, means small companies and all, they should get internet from ISP providers. In between, a mediator should be there. We'll call that as a class B person. So many service providers exist mainly to provide a service to the consumers. So where it will be given to the internet, Ticano, and then some Geo Fiber, which will give it to the customers, and then coming to the other things, that is ACT is there, like that. Different internet providers will be there, where they will concentrate the consumers, individuals with PCs in their homes. And these providers must connect to the backbone providers. So in between, whoever service providers are there, that is internet service providers, sorry, they will be initially connected to the they will be connected to the backbone. So in a global internet, often many providers arrange to interconnect with each other at a single peering point. This is very important. So how many ISP providers are there? Just for a sake, I will tell you one concept I want to tell you. What is the concept I want to tell you? I'm having a Jio and you may use the Airtel internet and somebody will use the other internet, right? So one thing I will tell you, I am using a WhatsApp chat, let it be assumed. I am using a WhatsApp chat and my friend is also chatting with me, and my friend's internet provider is a Airtel and mine internet provider is a Jio. And there is no restriction that the Geo person cannot have a chat, means WhatsApp chat with the Airtel person. That's not there. So how internet will be shared with two different ISP providers or two different companies? So this is the one concept. That means that some or the other way, these two providers, whoever are there, telecom companies who are there, should be linked with each other. Otherwise, how the information can be exchanged? That we have to keep in your mind, right? So that's a one real-time example for this situation. That means if some peer-to-peer connection should be there between this and that particular Geo person. Maybe Airtel customers, assume that lakhs together, Airtel customers are there around India, different regions are there, their network is there, and their one autonomous systems is there, and this Jio, it's a big very company, and their different customers will be there, different regions will be there, and there. So this is a one AS and this is a one AS. How these two ASs will be connected together? So a peer-to-peer connection must be there where information exchange should be done. So now we'll see further how a border gateway protocol will work. So what are the things will be needed in this particular routing? Assumes the internet is an arbitrarily interconnected set of AS. First thing, different set of ASs will be there. This border gateway protocol will always assumes like this. This is a one AS and another one is another AS. Define local traffic. Imagine this is a one very important. Define local traffic as a traffic that originates at or terminates on nodes within an AS, and transit traffic as a traffic that passes through any AS. What do you mean by this? The local traffic, whatever is there, it can be within the AS or it can be a node which presents in other AS also. So that means traffic should pass from one AS to the another AS. We can classify ASs into three types. How many types of ASs are there? Now, stub AS. An AS that has only a single connection to one other AS, such an AS will only carry local traffic. That is small corporation in the figure of the previous page. So in this particular thing, that type of the things we'll call it as a stub. That what do you mean by again this? I'll tell you. See, here one out point will be there in a AS, Azure BMSID. Entire BMSID, whatever traffic is there, the traffic will come to at a data center, and from data center, the traffic will go out. That means at one particular point, entire connections will be there, and that point will be connected to the outer world. That type of an AS is called as an stub AS. Now, what is a stub AS? Now, coming to the multi-homed AS, an AS that has a connections to more than one other AS, but refuses to carry transit traffic. That is large corporation at the top in the figure of the various space. So what do you mean by this? Here there will be connections to the different ASs, not only a single AS. For example, I will tell you ours is a stub AS. Why ours is a stub AS? Our internet provider is a Convergent fellow. Am I right? So from Convergent, there will be an OFC cable laid directly to the BMSID as a laser line, and it is opened in a data center, right? And from that data center, the internet has been distributed throughout the campus of the BMSID. Now, whatever, assume that from any branches or any blocks or any area, whoever using the internet, the packet should come to the data center. From data center router, it has to go out directly to the Convergent router, which is there. And from there, it has to go. So that is a one particular thing. Now coming to the multi-homed AS. What is this here? An AS that has a connections to more than one other ASs but refuses to carry a transit traffic. What do you mean by here? Again, I'll tell you. So this, now you take an example of a Convergent. For a Convergent, we are not only the customers like us, many other colleges or many other small corporations or hotels may be there, right? So now here, all even BMSID is one AS means, assume the Convergent India is one AS, means their network, that is one AS. And here is a one AS, BMSID. Like that, assume another college, SVIT is one AS. And another corporation, small ABC company is one AS, assume. Now here, from Convergent, there should be a connections established to all these three ASs. Why? Because these three ASs are customers to them. That is called as multi-homed AS. Now here Convergent India is a multi-homed AS. So that is a one real-time example. Coming to next, transit AS. An AS that has a connections to more than one other AS and is designed to carry both transit and local traffic. Backbone providers in the figure of the previous. Now coming to the backbone. Now there, what happens to the backbone? Many ISP providers will be there. For them, when the internet is giving, and further down, different companies. But there you assume for a backbone, not only ISP providers as a AS will be there, large corporations, as I told, will also be a direct customers to the backbone. Now if you take a backbone, that is called as a transist. So here the traffic, whatever is designed to carry both transist and local traffic. That is, what is the local traffic here? That is coming to the ISP provider, from ISP provider to the customer. Now what is this here? Transist means directly given to the companies or large companies. So that would have been done with means main backbones. So that you can take it as an example here. Now coming to the next. The goal of inter-domain routing is to find any path to the intended destination that is loop-free. This you have to keep in your mind. What is the inter-domain routing means? Assume that there will be a system in a BMS IT and I want to connect to other particular system. So how a path should be established to the intended destination where a loop shouldn't be there. We are concerned with reachability than optimality. Before optimality, first we should reach to the destination. That is very much important. Finding path anywhere close to the optimal is considered to be a great achievement. Once the destination has been found out, to reach the destination, which is the optimal path, that is, which is the shortest path. So that two things are very much important here. Identifying the reachability to the destination. Yes, destination can be reachable. It's not a disconnected graph. Our destination is not at all connected to this loop. It's not like that. Yes, destination is a part of our network and there is a connection to him. He can be reachable. Okay, he can be reachable. In what way he can be reachable? Which way he can be reachable? There we'll go for an optimal way. Coming to the next one, scalability in a BGP. An internet backbone router must be able to forward any packet destined anywhere in the internet. Finally, what is happening here? The backbone, whatever is there, means I will send a packet, means I am a customer and I will send a packet to my ISP provider. My ISP provider will send a packet to the backbone. And then the backbone again will send to the next ISP provider via maybe my consumer or directly backbone to the large corporation. Like that, it will be sent. Now we'll take one real-time example. What is a real-time example? Assume that in a BMS ID, I'm sitting now here and I'm opening my Gmail, right? So when I will type www.gmail.com, what is the intention behind this? I should connect to the Gmail server. Assume Gmail server means Google is a big corporation company which is directly connected to the backbone, right? Now, in a BMS IT, where a local routing will be done to the router, that is data center. It will be gone to the data center. Now, from data center, the router, whatever is there, the LG router, from there, from our AS, the packet will move to the ISP provider of Convergent India. There, the Convergent India is connected to the backbone. Am I right? So that it will be sent to that particular backbone. From the backbone, all backbones will be interconnected. So from that backbone, it will check which is a backbone providing internet to the Google. So that backbone, from there, directly it will go to the Google. From Google Edge router, it will go inside the corporation of the Google, our packet, then it will goes to the Gmail server. So in this way, now it should be a scalable. Then having a routing table that will provide a match for any valid IP address. Autonomous nature of the domains. It is impossible to calculate meaningful path cost for a path that crosses multiple ASs. So a cost of 1,000 cross one provider might imply a great path, but it might mean an unacceptable bad one from another provider. So how many systems you are going to, how many hubs you are going to pass. So that is a one disadvantage, means I can say like this. So entire thing you are dividing into a autonomous. So how you can make these things, means how you can spread the packet from means one hierarchically from one above to the below. How many hubs you should cross. Compare in a real-time example. That is a huge public internet is there. Now issues of the trust. Provider A might be unwilling to believe certain advertisements from provider B. Basically, see what do you mean by this? So whatever advertisements my ISP provider is giving, backbone may not consider that. Yeah, so this is one thing. Sorry, where a control should be maintained between the ISP provider and a backbone. Now, how that should be done? Now you see here, each AS has what will the AS is having one BGP speaker that advertises. So what is this? Each AS will have now entire BMS IT is identified with one particular IP address assumed with one router. From there, internet is distributed to entire campus. Now, one BGP speaker that advertises. What is this? Local networks. How many local networks are there? Other reachable networks, that is transit AS only. Which other AS it can be connected gives a path information. So in this way, the BGP protocol should give this much information. In addition to the BGP speakers, the AS has one or more border gateways which need not be the same as the speakers. The border gateways are the routers through which the packets enter and leave the AS. This is very much important. The border gateways is the one where like a gate, for a house it is a gate. Okay, assume that for a house maybe some 3-4 doors may be there, not an issue. Back door, front door, side doors, like that. Assume that for a house only one gate should be there. So from that gate only the person should come, whichever either he will go to the upper floor, either he will come to the ground floor, it's left to him based on that. But coming in a gate is very much important. That is called as a border gateway. So AS will have one gateway like that where everyone should enter there and everyone should leave there. Best example, BMSIT, all packets should get in from a data center and get out from a data center. So that is a one thing which you should do. Then BGP does not belong to either of the two main classes of routing protocols, that is distance vector or a link state. It neither belongs to distance vector or a link state. It is having a concept of advertising about an AS and connection between AS. That's it. Internal AS routings will be done by distance vectors and a link state. Now, BGP advertises complete path as an enumerated list of ASs to reach a particular network. So, how to reach BMSIT from Convergent India that is connected to the different ASs? How to reach to that AS should be known. That's it. It's the work of the AS to get inside. Once the packet get inside, then internal routing will be different. Coming to the next, you take an example of the things now. Now assume that this is a backbone AS1, a backbone who is providing internet to the ISP providers. Assume there are two ISP providers, A and B, like Ticona you can consider, or ACT you can consider, something like that. Now regional provider A and a regional provider B, one region for A and one region for B, they have given by a backbone AS1. Now assume let it be AS2 and AS3. Now AS2 will have again the consumer IP, that is AS4, 128.class B addresses. Then here they can have a sub, that is 192.4, means that internet can be internally distributed. For example, BMSIT like that. So like this, they can provide a different networks. So in this way, the BGP will exist. We'll go with an example in next. Now see, above example, speaker of AS2 advertises the reachability to P and Q. Go back to the figure now. Now you see here, AS2 whatever is there. So this AS2 provider will tell, I am having a customers P and Q. He will advertise about P and Q. Now that will be known to backbone network. In turn, backbone, same thing will be done with a P. Now we'll go back here, you can check. See here, network 128.96, 122.4.153 this, and 192.4.3 can be reached directly from AS2. Who will tell this? AS2 advertises that, hey, I am having these many customers with me and these are the IP addresses. He advertises that. Now, speaker for a backbone network then advertises. How a speaker advertises? Assuming here. So networks 128.96 and 124 whatever AS2 can be reached along with the AS1 and AS2. Both will be taken. Speaker can also cancel previously advertised paths. This is very much important. Now go back here. How the AS2 will tell I know P and Q. Yeah, AS3 will tell I know R and S that IP addresses are so and so. Then backbone knows all. Then what it will do, whatever the things it has been came to the speaker, both will be deleted, and this backbone network speaker will advertise entire things. That is, it will tell AS2 that from AS2 these two are there, AS1 these two are there. From it will tell AS3 that AS2 is having these two and you are having these two. So now all this AS2 and 3 will come to know that how many customers, all customers. Now these customers automatically will come to know about all that through the advertisement of a final speaker. So that you have to take into the consideration. Next, it should be apparent that AS numbers carried in a BGP need to be unique. This is very much important. AS, you are identifying entire AS, so that AS number should be unique. For example, AS2 can only recognize itself in the AS path in a example if no other AS identifies itself in a same way. That is, it should be identified, the uniqueness should be given to the AS as a AS numbers. Usually AS numbers will be of 16-bit numbers assigned to a central authorities. Coming to the next. All routers run whatever is there, whatever a router see, integrating the inter-domain and intra-domain routing. This is very much important. What do you mean by this? Intra-domain is for a company, assume. Communicating within a company. That is intra-domain. What is the inter-domain? Your company should connect to the other things also outside. Now you see this particular figure here. What is the thing here? A. 2 from other autonomous AS. Now 2 from other autonomous AS. 2 from. Now how many gateway, border gateway routers are there? A, D and E are the, sorry, border gateway routers, and B and C are the local routers for that particular intranet. Now, all routes run IBGP and an intra-domain routing protocol. Broader routers are ADE, also running eBGP to other resources. Now, how it will run, I'll show you. You'll see the table now. Go back. Now, in a table, as you see this BGP table for AS, what will be there? An IGP table for router B and combined table for router B. Now, observe router B here. What is this BGP table for the AS? AS. Now back here with the figure, then you can understand easily. Right? BGP protocol. Right? A, D, E are outside. Correct? Come back here. Now, so prefix, whatever is there, that are based on IP address. BGP next is E, A, D, and coming to next again with other IP address means other port is A. Now you can see this figure back here. A is connected as well as to D, and A is connected to as well as B, right? And E is connected only to C. Now A is connected to both B and D here. Now go back to the table. Now you can see A is connected to both the IP address. So it is B and inter D. Now come back to the IGP protocol, means intra-domain means gateway protocol. That is B, whatever is it. Router A, IGP path A directly connected. C it has, go back here, come to B here, C it is directly connected, A it's directly connected, D it's not connected, E it's not connected. Now go back here. Now D it is connected via C. Now back here, check the figure once again. Back here, D it is connected via C. Yes, it can be connected. And E it is connected via C again. Correct. Now coming over here, this combined table for B, both the things. Observe here. Observe carefully. Now how the prefix will be taken? The B is connected to C. The B is connected to A. Yeah, we know directly. Again, B is connected to C only and B is connected to A. Now, in both the ways, whatever the out packets it should be sent based on IP addresses, it can be sent. Now, B knows that there will be of one border gateway protocol which is there here. See here, one border gateway protocol will be there and another one is C. But coming to this D and all, it's not connected. It's directly connected to A here. Now, what is the intention here? The B should send either a packet whenever internal domain is there, internal routers, it should send to C. That is E and D, it will go. But whenever outside it should send, it will send A directly, not an H. Why? Because A is connected to the outside. These outside ASs, if it wants to send, it will send to C. So in this way, the interconnections between that will be there. Now, backbone area and area border gateway protocols, how it will work in different area wise. Now, we observe area 0, area 1, area 3, and area 2. Now, area 0 border gateway protocol are R1 and here R3 is there and R2 is there. So R2 is connected to area 2 and R3 is connected to area 3 and R1 is connected to area. So always with the border routers, this exchanges will be done. Coming to the next, that is next generation IP protocols. Now, what is this IPv6? Now, why we should come with the IPv4? IPv4, I have explained to you how the header format and 32-bit source IP address and 32-bit the destination IP addresses, how it will be there, and how the 5 total things, 40 bytes will be taken into the consideration, the 5 rows, how it will be taken into the consideration. That and all we had discussed. Now, at one maximum stage, the IPv4 will comes to end. Correct, no? Once the IVP, when the IP protocols will comes to end, when it will comes to end, maximum 255.255.255.255.255. So it will end there. No more than that you can do. Correct, no? Why? Because only one byte is there and maximum 255 you can take into the consideration. Assume that in coming generations and all, still the connections will go be more. And now at the stage when IPv4 is there, the 1/3 of the entire internet now, only 1/3 of world internet is there. Assume full world will use the internet. Then how many IP addresses has been needed? So then we need another version. What is the other version of the IPv? The major things in that is 128-bit addresses will be there. Imagine 128-bit, not a 32, 128-bit addresses will be. Multicast it will do, not unicast. IPv4 will be good in a unicast, but this will be done multicast. What is a multicast? Many source to many destinations, or single source to many destinations, or a single destination, many sources to single. Like that, it will be there. So real-time service will be increased. Authentication and security will be very fast. And auto configuration will be done very easily. End-to-end fragmentation will become very easily and very large. Data payload it can take. Enhanced routing functionality, including support for mobile hosts, will be done in IPv6. The one thing in India still, the IPv6 is not implemented in full-fledged. We are with IPv4 only Western countries is more now the implementation. Coming to the next. Classless addressing, you know already CIDR, which I explained to you how a classless things will work. Now you come here, how address will be there first. You must note that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Total 8 parts will be there. So one part will contain 16-bit hexa number. 16-bit hexa number means 4 bits will represent one hexa number, right? So that means for 4s are 16. That is 4 hexadecimal numbers will represent one part, one X. Now contiguous zeros are compressed. Now you can see here 47CD, A456, 0124, like that, a big number means 8 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 parts will be there. Each part will contain the total 16 bit. Now you can see here IPv6 compatibility with IPv4 addresses. How a compatibility you can do. That is 128.42.1. That is 4 is there. Another 4 is left out. So another 4 you have to add up here. That is, it's divided into two parts. So two parts will be identified by two colons here. You can see here, right? Two colons. So this is a one part and another one is another part. So address assignment will be provided. Provider based on a geo. Why two parts here of address is there? Best thing I'll tell you like this. Why two parts is there? IPv4 should be upgraded to IPv6. You can't leave the existing one. So how you can upgrade? You can upgrade. Yes, these are the systems which is there with these many four parts will be there here. Another four parts. Assume that another four parts is a network address. With that, entire this network with the network and everything, all this will be taken in one shot. Are you getting point? So like that, you can keep on rising. So it will become a very vast set of an IP addresses you can take into the considerations. Now you see the header format of this same 40 byte base address will be there and secondary address will be further. Extension addresses will be there for a fragmentation, source routing, authentication and security. Now you see what is the base header, how it will look. So version will be there as you know already. Traffic class is there, flow label is there, payload length, next header, hop limit. Now observe source address. This is 32 bit, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 128. Now coming to here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 4. 4 bytes is taken. Getting this entire thing is 32 bits. 32 bits means 8 fours are 32, 4 bytes. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 fours are 16. So 16 automatically 20. So in this way, you are going to take this. The next header continuation will be there. Finally, the payload will come. So IPv6 will be given for almost all short notes and exam. You must be ready with this particular concept. So which is very much important. Now coming to the next thing, that is internet multicast. Multicast is not there for you. Internet multicast, which is not there in a syllabus. So if you want, you can study this. It's there in a textbook. It will come under how a multicast will be. Multicasting will be done. Anyway, you are having a lab program. There I will explain once again. Now, according to syllabus, it's not there. We'll go to the next part. Coming to here, that is routing for a mobile host. Now come back again. Now come to the mobile. In a mobile, how a routing will be done, how an internet will be utilized. This is one which is very much important. First, what you must have in your mind is like this. You must know what is home agent, home address, and foreign agent, and foreign addresses. How you should know this particular thing. First, I will tell you a background of a mobile working systems. Then you can understand easily. That is, when you go with a purchase of a SIM, from there I will start. When you go with a purchase of a SIM, you will submit your Aadhaar card or some address proof identification. It is right, everyone. Everyone right? How will you get a SIM? How will you get a SIM? How will you get a SIM card? Listening? Listening?
Yes, sir.
How will you get a SIM card? You have to go to the nearby your place mobile center. There, what they will ask you? They will ask you the Aadhaar
Aadhaar.
card. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Correct. Now, you must be localized to that area, then only you will give the SIM to you. Now, what is the thing here? now once you have taken, assume you have taken a Airtel connection and you will take some so and so scheme and all. Once it has been taken, you will be registered. That is called as a home agent. That is, one server will be there. There it will be registered that with so and so SIM number, so and so mobile number, so and so name, so and so address. This person has been registered with this particular scheme of the payment. So it will be there. And home IP address always means internet IP address will be given to you. Then question arises, sir, I have taken a connection for a mobile. I will keep on moving. Where I will move? I will go to once I will go to Hyderabad, once I will go to Calcutta, once I will go to Delhi. Wherever I want, I will keep on moving, and I will use my mobile internet, and I will use my mobile also for a video calling, whatever the need is there. Then how a connection will be established? How the mobile company will come to know that you are at that particular point? This is the question arises always. Are you getting? I'm telling very simple. Right. I registered, I've taken a SIM in my place, assume. I've taken in my native place. Gudibande, I have taken assume. Right. And my address, Gudibande address, everything, myself, Dwarkanath, so everything has been registered. And I will get a mobile number. Now I am in a Bangalore. Now I'll go to some other place, Hyderabad and all. So there I will use the internet, everything. How the tele company will come to know that I am so and so person. This is a beautiful connection established. There I will become a foreign agent. Means I will become a foreign person in that particular place. In Hyderabad, I will become a foreign agent. Then automatically a home agent, I left here and I gone to the Hyderabad. Once I crossed the border, everyone listen carefully. Once I crossed the border, I entered to the Andhra. Automatically, I'll get a message that welcome to AP and your roaming charges is so and so, and you can use roaming internet like that, so and so message. How told that company fellows that I am in Andhra? How it came to know that I am in Andhra? Are you getting my point? That is, sorry. Either you call or either you doesn't call. When you move from one base station to another base station or one area to other area, automatically you will be detected by that particular base station of your company, telecommunication company base stations. Automatically it will be detected. Once it is being detected that you have entered to this particular circle, then you will be given in that particular thing. Now come back to the internet here with this particular background. Now home agent router located on the home network of the mobile host, as I told you. So that's a home agent. It will be there at a router site. Home addresses, the permanent IP address of the mobile host. Always when I taken some Karnataka local, it is for me, one IP address will be given to me based on my mobile number and a SIM number. As a network number equal to that of the home network and that of the home agent. Foreign agent. Router located on a network to which the mobile node attaches itself when it is away from its home network. This is very much important. When it is away from its home network, so automatically a different IP address will be assigned to you as a temporary IP address to you, and you will be considered as a foreign agent here. When I will move from Bangalore to Hyderabad, in a Bangalore, I am local. I am a home agent fellow here. There is no need to have in a previous time and all. We should have a, when you go to the roaming places and all, we should have a 0 and we should play with the numbers. Otherwise, you can't reach that. But here, within a local, you can do with direct numbers. So that you keep in your mind. So that's a home agent. This is IP address where I can use local internet. Means within that particular local area. Now, if I gone to the Hyderabad, once I entered, I crossed, then automatically a new temporary IP address will be assigned to me until I am in a Hyderabad. Then a mobile host, whatever is there for that, I can connect and I can use this particular internet. Means whoever are there, means whatever internet is there, I can use like this. Any doubt here, you can ask me. Any doubt? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Cleared? So I repeat once again that once if you cross a border, you enter to the other region, the base station, whatever will be there, will be automatically identify you and it will tell welcome to AP or welcome to any other state. So it will tell once you cross it, automatically it will assign you a new IP address for your internet service and all, not the home agent address for a temporary basis. Why? Because this home agent address is restricted in only one particular area. Then automatically coming back, it will be left. That's why roaming charges somewhat it will be different also. Coming to the next thing, problem of delivering a packet to the mobile node. How does the home agent intercept a packet that is destined for the mobile node? So your proxy ARP making will be the problem. How does the home agent then deliver the packet to the foreign agent? IP tunnel should be established, care of address should be there. Now, for example, what is this tunnel? I'll tell you. Assume that my friend is chatting with me. I'm chatting with him and I'm in Karnataka only. My IP address is 8.18.0.5.1. Assume I keep on chatting with him. Once I crossed the border, assume just I entered with the Andhra Pradesh. Now, Andhra Pradesh system is network system is changed. The region I changed. Then automatically it will become a roaming and it will tell me that a new IP address, foreign agent IP address is allocated. But my friend who is chatting with me, his network doesn't know that my IP address has been changed. So he will send to same IP address. Are you getting my point very clearly? You will send to same IP address of my home IP address. Home IP address, it will come. It will come to my home proxy system always. What is the work of my home proxy system? Once the packet is come to my home proxy system, it knows that where I am. That is, it knows about my foreign IP address. So that foreign IP address, what it knows, the same packet should be redirected to this foreign agent and it should be delivered. So how it should be delivered? This third person doesn't know that I am in either Andhra, I am in either somewhere. He doesn't know that. He will keep on chatting. That's it. If I doesn't tell him that I am in a traveling, he never knows that. Are you getting my point? So it's very clear that this person knows I am chatting with Dwarkanath. That's it. Dwarkanath now where he is, it doesn't matter. So how this thing will go? The packet will go to home system first. There in a home system, the home system will ask the virtual location finder system. That is one other server will be there. It will ask that server, assume where is this particular number person. This virtual locator will keep on locating you, as I told the base station. So it will keep on locating you and it will keep on registering there. It will tell your so-and-so person with this mobile number is in this particular base station locality or this particular area. Now, what is the IP address, internet IP address assigned to him? That will be given. Now a tunnel will be formed between, a virtual tunnel will be formed between the home IP address and a foreign IP address. Now all the packets coming from the third party will be redirected to that foreign address. Then routing for mobile hosts. So the same thing what I told, the route from the sending node to mobile node can be significantly suboptimal. One extreme example, the mobile node and sending node are on the same network, but the home network for the mobile nodes is on the far side of the internet. That is triangle routing problem will arise. What is the solution for this? Let the sending node know that the care of address of the mobile node, the sending node can create its own tunnel to the foreign agent. This is very much important. Home agent sends a binding updated message. The sending node creates an entry in the binding cache. The binding cache may become out of the mobile node. Now will be directly connected to the foreign agent. So in this way, the communication will be done. So this ends your third model. Now from next class onwards, tomorrow 10:50, we will go to the next unit, that is the end-to-end protocol. What is the end-to-end protocol? You know that TCP and UDP. There, end-to-end process means transport layer. How it will work, how TCP will work, how UDP will work, and how a congestion control will be done, how a sliding window will be maintained, how a connection will be established from TCP protocol, how three-way handshake will be done. All these concepts we are going to discuss in a coming model. In coming model is somewhat a big model. Maybe it will also be completed. Today is what's the date? Today, almost until your test four means half of the unit. I think I can complete. So remaining within a third internal inter syllabus I'll complete. Not any issues. So any doubt is there, you can ask me personally also, you can WhatsApp me and you can. So every Saturdays we'll do a lab program. Almost all Saturday, if possible, Monday also. Means it will come, date is coming early, we'll do it. So that's a one thing. Remaining days we'll go with the theory classes. Only 4 members today. This is a problem, right? So tell your friends to attend classes regularly, and we are making a lot of effort to do this particular classes. Tell them why, because these real-time examples, what I'm telling, will not be there in a PPTs. This is very much important. Uh, I've taken a BMSIT example. I have taken some company example. I told how BJP will work and all. So these things at that point of a time, a real-time examples will come. So if you go through only with a PPT, you don't get anything. Right? At least and tell them to go through with the videos, whatever I'm uploading. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir.